Hi, everybody. This video is to help out with some of the questions for parents and for students regarding how we're going to handle things at football games. All the information that I'm going to talk to you about right now is on our website. It's been sent out as an email on Remind and is also on Facebook. But I still wanted to go over it with you and kind of clarify a few things. So here we go. Uniforms. What are we going to wear? We're going to wear the alternate uniform for this year, which is the Spirit Pack. That's the gray embroidered polo shirt with khaki shorts and athletic shorts. I'm sorry, athletic shoes. Now, if you don't have your Spirit Pack yet, then we're going to do the same thing that we asked the folks who went to Lincoln to do, and that is to wear the red Pride shirt. If you're a vet, you know what I'm talking about. It's the red shirt that we have every year. That's what we want you to wear if you don't have your gray polo yet. If you're not a vet, if you're a new member and you don't have your Spirit Pack, then what we're going to ask you to do is just wear your khaki shorts, your athletic shoes, and wear something in the Southside color wheel. So something preferably cardinal red, crimson, or black, gray, white, something in that color scheme. Something in support of our school. If you have a band shirt or a school shirt, that's even better. So that kind of helps us out there. We want to support our school, support our team. If you have not ordered the Spirit Pack, then please, we implore you, do so quickly. They're getting out orders relatively fast. I believe that they have fixed the issue with the sizing at the being kind of weird as far as how do I order my correct size. They should have added a drop-down menu. And I've seen a lot of students starting to wear other apparel from the store. So we know it's working and they're getting out orders quickly. Please do that ASAP. We want everybody in uniform as quickly as possible, definitely by our next game. Report time. Every week, regardless of whether it's a home or away game, we give out a report time. Here's what that will look like tomorrow. And for all of our games, we will have a report time that we'll send out on the schedule, and that'll be in the auditorium. Tomorrow, the report time is 5 o'clock. Normally, we don't meet quite this early for home games, but as it's the first one, we've also got a quick national anthem rehearsal with Hoax Bluff. Then we need to get there. So tomorrow's call time is 5 o'clock. Now, this call time is for uniform inspections, roll call to make sure we've got everybody and everybody's got what they need. We won't take very long, and we'll get on the bus. Now, how do we get to the games? Because our stadium is not right here at the school. Normally, we take 3 buses and we just crowd the kids on there as much as possible, and we just get there all at once. Obviously, that's not going to be what we do this year. We're still taking 3 buses. We're just going to operate 2 different shifts. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our 3 buses. We're going to take all of the percussion, low brass, and auxiliary folks first. They're going to sit one to a seat. They're going to wear their mask the whole time. The windows are going to stay down. They're going to be the first shift. They're going to go and be dropped off at the stadium. The buses are going to come back. While the buses are coming back to get everybody else, those students are going to be up at the stadium getting all their equipment ready. And all the small equipment folks, they'll get shuttled off. And by the time they get to the stadium, the low brass, percussion, auxiliaries should have all their stuff ready, and we're good to go. We'll do the same thing to leave. We'll talk about dismissal in a minute, but the buses will run in 2 shifts. And that's how we'll get students to and from the stadium. So if you're a virtual student or you have a virtual child and for some reason you're not comfortable with your child riding the bus, that's okay. We understand. What you can do then is if you elect to, you can drop off your child at the stadium, and that needs to be at 5:15. They need to be there with all their stuff ready to go at 5:15. Be careful when you're dropping off. Students, if you're being dropped off, be careful, be aware of traffic. You'll need to go to the band section, which is behind the home side. You'll see us there. Don't worry, you'll know exactly where to go. But just be careful, watch out for traffic. And just, if you would also please, if you are going to drop off your child, again, needs to be a virtual student, and we'd like to know about it. So just drop Ms. Hammock or I an email. Don't expect a reply back. Please, we may not, but just kind of give us a heads up of, hey, I'm planning on dropping off my child, and again, have them there at the stadium at 5:15. All right, while we're there, during the game, we've got a couple of guidelines. Some of these are what we normally do. Some of these are enhanced procedures regarding COVID. So let's talk about that. First of all, realize that when we're at the game, parents, we're on the clock. The band's got a job to do, and that's to support our team, to entertain our fans, and that's the job, and that's always been the case. Please don't get offended when the students can't leave or can't come in or out. We've got a job to do, and that's to be a professional group and support our school. And we're going to play, we're going to cheer, we're going to have a good time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about these procedures. Students are going to be spaced out as much as possible. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be exactly 6 feet for everybody all the time, but we're going to space out everybody as much as is possible with the amount of space that we have been allotted. We are taking up more room in the stadium than we normally do, but we cannot take up everything because we do have to have a crowd. So we are spacing out our students as much as we possibly can with the space that's been given to us. Mask must be worn at all times by everybody in the band section. If we're not playing, they're going to be on. Percussion and auxiliary students who don't need their masks off to perform, to play, to cheer, they will wear those the entire time that we're in the stadium. No exceptions, no griping. As soon as the instrumentalists are done playing, the masks are going back on. So we ask that we'll just pull them down and then we'll put them back up instead of having to take them off and fiddle with it and lose time there. But everybody will wear a mask. Also, we highly encourage everybody to bring their own water jug into the stadium. I believe there was some confusion at Lincoln about that. We've always encouraged students to bring their own water jugs. That being said, we will provide bottled water. We will have enough bottled water there to provide every child at least with 2 bottles if they should need it. Now, if somebody's got their water jug and they don't need that bottled water, that's fine. But we will have bottled water just in case. So there's no need for anybody to go thirsty. But absolutely, bring your water jug. Make sure it's already filled. We don't have a way of filling it here at the school. But go ahead and bring your water jug. Make sure you have your name on it. The reason I like the water jugs is, aside from COVID or not, you've got your water jug. It's labeled. It's got your name on it. You know which one is yours. If you've got a bottled water, then be really careful if you set it down. There's the potential there to kind of get it confused with, is that my water? Is that my neighbor's water? So if you forget a jug and you do bring a bottled water, I just keep it in your hand until it's empty so you don't run the risk of getting it confused with anyone else's. Now, the Pride Music Association boosters will have a crew of 4 chaperones. That's quite a bit less than we've dealt with before. The reason for that is simply to cut down on traffic. It's not to offend anybody. It's not to say that you didn't do a good job. If you've always been a chaperone, if you've always been helping out and volunteering, you like doing that, please understand we're not in any way displeased with you. That's just a measure that we're enacting this year to cut down on the traffic. We also we don't have as many props, or we don't need as many hands on deck as far as equipment. So there's another reason for that too. And our PMA boosters in charge of chaperones will be contacting people. We'll be running out of rotation. So if you would like to volunteer, we could definitely use your help in the concession stand. So please contact Morgan Smith. I know he's needing a few folks. Students need to use the restroom and eat ahead of time. We won't be eating during the game. We'll be eating after the game, and I'll talk about that in a second, but please eat beforehand. Please also use the restroom. Now, if you need to use the restroom during the game, then what we'll do is we'll escort students out of the stadium. To avoid the crowd, we'll go behind the home section, walk out there, come back into the stadium to go to the restrooms. That's the only 2 restrooms that we have in the stadium. And then the students will be escorted back. Students are not allowed to go to the restroom on their own. They never have been. And everybody stays in our section the whole time. No one is allowed into the band section. That's parents, that's boyfriend, girlfriend, other students. Nobody else is allowed in the band section during the game. Please don't try to bring food during the game. We're not going to let you do that. We're not trying to be rude. We're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but we've got a job to do. We're there to do it. We're trying to be as careful as we can with social distancing. So please don't be surprised tomorrow just know that that's one of our procedures. Now let's talk about feeding the kids. A lot of you guys have asked, what do I need to bring? $5? Do we need to pre-order? There's no need to do any of that for home games. There's no need to pre-order this year or to bring money. The Pride Music Association is feeding every child in the band. They're giving them a meal. So that'll happen at the end of the game. Now, that's not happening during third quarter like we have traditionally done, because during third quarter, if we're calling out sections to come down and get food and then to go back up while there's another crew going up, there's another crew going back, there's not a way of doing that that doesn't have a little bit of congestion, have a little bit of a bottleneck. So to keep this as safe as possible, the boosters are bringing over food at the end of the game. As students are being dismissed to go to the buses, they're just going to grab their food and go. And they'll have a couple of different options. The boosters are going to bring whatever's left over from the concession stand, but they also know, in case it's a really busy night, they are setting things aside. So there's at least enough food left over to feed every child. Students, it's there if you want it. It's optional. I'd take advantage of it. It's not required, but it's there if you need it. Again, every child is going to be fed if they want it. All right, let's talk about halftime. So the Alabama High School Athletic Association has enacted new guidelines for halftime to help with clearing the stadium and not having too many people on the sideline. We're still getting our 10 minutes for halftime. This is actually pretty advantageous for us. They're pausing the clock until the first band can get onto the field and get all their stuff set up. No band will be allowed to exit the stadium until the field has been completely cleared. So the first band to perform, which is always the visiting band, won't even begin to come out of the stadium until both football teams have exited the field. Once that band is on the field, the time will start. They'll get 10 minutes. When that 10 minutes is up, they'll pause the clock. That group will get off the field. Once they're completely off the field and back up into the stands, the second group will come out of the stands. They'll come onto the field, and the time will start over again. So that's a big help to us. We don't have to worry about running the clock or running out of the stands. We're not going to leave the stands to go and warm up. We'll send the auxiliaries out to get all their equipment and to stretch and things. But all the instruments will stay up in the stands and continue to play. Once Hoax Bluff is done, then we'll go out. Once they're back in the stands, rather, we'll go out and we'll get lined up and we'll do our show and we'll come back into the stands. We will give water during third quarter. We'll take a little bit of a breather, but we're still going to play during third quarter. We're still going to cheer. And don't forget, we've got that food coming at the end of the game. Weather plan. I know there was some question about this at Lincoln. I want to let you guys know, parents, that school officials are not in charge of making calls in terms of delay of play for weather. That is up to the referees, and we have very little say in that. If there is inclement weather, then what we'll do is we will send half the group onto the 3 buses that shuttled us there. The other half of the group will send them to the competition gym to shelter in place until the weather has passed. And then finally, just want to let you know that after the game is done, after we've dismissed students to go to the buses or to load equipment, they've gotten their food, we will dismiss as a group. We'll give a couple of quick announcements, and then we'll send everybody home. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If you've got any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact Ms. Hammock or myself. And I'm excited for tomorrow's performance. The kids have done great today with one rehearsal, because yesterday was raining. With one rehearsal, they've gotten worked out how we're going to get on, off the field. They've marched and they've played, and it's going to be a good show. So please build up your child, encourage them. We're excited. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. Go Panthers and go Pride Go. See you guys tomorrow.